Sowing confusion leaves people wandering around not knowing what to do, and maybe some people won't vote because they'll be confused. I mean, misinformation is a potent weapon for the company. After the election, the Northwest flight attendants will continue to be covered by the Northwest contract up until the point that we have a ratified single agreement for both groups. The Delta flight attendants will never be covered by the Northwest contract, and that's just a matter of fact and law. The Delta flight attendants are going to have their own representatives, their own elected representatives, and they're going to be able, and their elected representatives are going to be able to select their own Delta representatives to be on the negotiating committee, because that's made up of Northwest and Delta flight attendants.
The union at Delta will be made up of Delta flight attendants. They will each flight attendant domicile will elect a president, a vice, and a secretary-treasurer, as well as council reps, committee members. Those will all be Delta flight attendants.
Right after the election, AFA International will appoint temporary presidents for each Delta domicile that has 100 or more flight attendants. And then an election will go on, and the Delta flight attendants in those domiciles will elect their own representatives. And it's those representatives, the Delta representatives, who will elect the Delta members of the Joint Negotiating Committee. And they're going to have an equal number of Delta representatives on the Joint Negotiating Committee as there will be Northwest representatives. Now, the Northwest Negotiating Committee members will be chosen by the Northwest LEC presidents, the presidents from each domicile, but they're just going to pick the Northwest representatives.
With respect to dues for the Delta flight attendants, once they vote for AFA, we will begin negotiations. Under the AFA Constitution, it is very clear. Employees who choose AFA as a representative will not pay any dues until a first contract is negotiated and ratified. The role of the International is really to lend support. We have a legal department, government affairs, research, collective bargaining. The legal department enforces the contracts. We defend the union in court. Collective bargaining assigns a professional negotiator to help them negotiate a contract. Research department helps them to come up with contract proposals based on industry standards, government affairs. We lobby the Hill to get legislation which helps flight attendants.
There's nothing about having a union that prevents there from being a cooperative and collaborative relationship with the company. And we have that at plenty of airlines where management is willing to engage in that. And if that's what Delta wants, that's what they're going to get, a collaborative relationship with AFA. Because AFA is going to be the Delta flight attendants.